That's perfect. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, all. Pleasure to have you here today at this very first event. And we do hope we'll have a bit more of these in the future. And thank you to you, Ted. It was very insightful indeed. Following up on Julie, I would like just to make just give an example of what we can do here using everything we have to play with, our footprint, our international presence, and let's say our knowledge and capacity in resolving some of these very specific issues that can actually happen in unforeseen circumstances. I think if COVID has taught us something, is the unexpected will actually always surprise you somehow. Adding to the fact that we're in the context of COVID, and yet we had a military coup in Mali in August 2020, we were actually faced with a very interesting case that we had to solve here in Paris, and with the help of obviously one of our affiliates on ground. So in Mali, from August 2020, the ECOWAS, let's call it subcommittee for security and safety in the region, decided to put a series of sanctions following the coup when Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta was overthrown. In those days, basically what the intention was to basically stop all the trade from going in Mali and getting out of Mali, all the physical contacts as well, so no traveling for Malian citizens, and at the same time a financial embargo. In that case and in that context, a number of our customers and more specifically the international organizations and non-governmental organizations actually reached out to us because their local offices in country could not operate, and yet the situation was quite severe, and they needed more than ever to be actually effectively present and bring in some relief, some most needed relief to their clients, to their friends, and to those they were actually helping recover during this crisis. So when they reached out, we saw two things. The first thing was the usual ways of doing business, transferring money from overseas to Mali, were taken out. So the RTGS system, which is the system of payment intra-UEMOA region, was disconnected for Mali. The SWIFT services were taken out as well, and the correspondent banking services were taken out. Although the international payment system, meaning money being taken out from outside the UEMOA region going to Mali, was still effective. But since the majority of the providers of local currency were using these local payment services to settle clients in Mali, there were just no way they could effectively reach that last mile in Mali. But thanks to our presence in Mali and our presence in EBISA, we're actually able to put a very specific, dedicated channel from Paris all the way to the final client account in Mali. And that was effective from August 2020 all the way to October 6, 2020, where all the sanctions were lifted. So the alternative route, using EBISA's capacity to deal in Bloomberg, Reuters, all the major and mainstream channels internationally, accompanied in line with, structured by our capacity in terms of network and the unicity of function, the centralized vision in terms of treasury, helped us set up that specific route. So those trades were settled in real time, the same day, without any delay. And this was extraordinary. I mean, this was amazing because we were the only institution that was actually able to do that during that time. That setup in Mali is actually replicable to any other country where the EcoBank network, where our footprint actually exists. We have a flexible approach. We always put the clients first and their demand, which means that we can see how we can change our processes. You can see how we can change our central functions, how we can set up specific structures just to ensure that the clients is put first. The fact that we have the same operating system in all affiliates can actually let us have a parallel system, so that when there are downtimes in local RTGS systems, when there are downtimes in local payment structures, we can actually provide an alternative which is viable and actually efficiently work. And all this is provided thanks to that centralized vision. And this has been going on now for 12 years since EBISA has been set up. This is specific in Mali, but in COVID times, and I think Isaac Kamuta will allude to that and in his presentation later, since a lot of countries were closed, cities were in lockdown, we're actually able to provide dollar USD transfers being booked in electronic platforms digitally, being credited afterwards in local currency in effective eco-bank accounts or third-party accounts, and then reaching that last mile as well, all the way into mobile banks, digital channels, alternative channels. And this was instrumental in the way we preserved our customer experience, the way that we actually put the client first and ensure that we always provide revolutionary solutions for very, very unforeseen circumstances indeed. I think this is what I wanted to share today. Thank you very much.